Hello, hello, my dear friends. We are here with the Real Stuff Show. Woo!
The Real
Today,
Stuff!
this honorable guest, Jonathan Keats, JK.
Hey, guys, what's
and
up?
I just replaced Jay Granieri by Summer Swire.
An absolute amazing replacement.
No complaints
If I
here.
do say so myself.
No complaints here. Well, I'll take Summer all day long instead of Jay.
Yep, that's it.
Jay,
That's
missing
great,
you,
guys.
buddy. I hope everything's okay with your grandma.
Yeah, Jay, we miss you for sure, but I don't think the door is going to be open anymore for you.
Right.
Because right now we have a
Sorry,
Summer.
I took your seat and you're not getting it back.
Your seat's going to be next one for next episode, Jay.
Oh,
Okay, to let you know.
Catching a lot of heat over here, buddy.
But guys, thank you very much for coming here.
Absolutely.
JK, amazing.
What a great studio, Augustus. Thanks for having me. Total honor. Anything I could do to represent Jay and enjoy this and enjoy your show. I'm all in.
That's great, man. And Summer, second time here, right?
Second time I moved from that seat to
Yeah.
this. To
You're out of the
winning
hot seat, girl.
I'm the
That's-
winning seat. I move up quick.
That's great, guys. So again, the Real Stuff Show is a show by realtors to realtors to be legit. And to
What's
talk about
up,
the real estate
realtors?
without the glamour, without too much of BS. Here is the idea is to talk direct, being legit, being edgy, know exactly what is the weak points of things as well.
Oh, we're going to get you some nuggets. Nuggets.
We love nuggets.
That's great, guys. So today I have Jonathan Keith here, the $1 billion realtor.
Oh, just celebrated 20 years.
$1 billion.
20 years, guys.
Applause.
Oh, count that money. What did I say? My daughter's got that little money gun. It's like, yeah, daddy.
She's next.
So yeah, tell me a little bit what the experience, man, have done like 1 billion, one big B in
You know,
sales.
what I think about is not money. You know, when you're doing this, you can't count. We see agents all the time counting what they're going to get. And you can't do that. You got to focus on the service. That's right off the bat. It's all about taking care of your customers, your buyers, your sellers, your landlords, and your tenants. Otherwise, you're wasting the time thinking about what your next check, you're asking for a clobber.
But you are not tracking like last year
Oh,
too
we
to say, oh my gosh, I'm coming.
We track, and listen, anytime, Augusta, that you want to go to the top, you got to pay attention to your numbers, but you can't be focusing internally on the deal at hand on the number, right? You want to look at what you're going to pull down each quarter and take it quarter by quarter. But overall, you can't let the numbers get in the way of finalizing a deal. It's just dangerous.
No, that's great, man. And a lot of the realtors here, so a little bit about this show is to share a little bit your knowledge to other realtors so they can experience success as well, through the eyes of other people, and you have two successful people here. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. So tell me a little bit more. If you have to choose one element, one characteristic of your actions, one thing that make you have been so successful, what it would be?
I got to tell you, the first foundation that I had was actually being an appraiser first. I went out and I spent several years appraising in the Tri-County area. And so that really gave me the confidence to join that realtor mass, right? We've got that 80-20, which is more like 90-10.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that becomes a challenge because, you want to have the knowledge to support your customer, right? And if you're not, paying attention to your days on market and your price per square foot and the focus on and listening to what your customer wants, whether it's that buyer, seller, landlord, or tenant, you're going to get yourself in trouble. Gotta listen.
That's amazing. Let's jump to our first segment.
Let's go. I'm ready.
Whoa! Which is the news. News about the real estate here in Florida, guys. What do you want to brought today, guys? So we're talking about flood. Do you want to talk a little bit about the flood that's happening here today or not?
Well, listen.
It happened.
I
have here.
You know what?
Boom.
We took on, I think, what was it? 20 inches, right? Well, here's the thing. I got to tell you, seriously, Summer, here's the scoop.
Yeah.
Let's put 20 inches anywhere in the nation and see what happens, right?
Oh my.
Now, and here's what's great is go ahead and drive around in Fort Lauderdale and you'll see that we're already starting to dry out. Of course, there's going to be pockets. There's pockets no matter what city you go to.
Yeah.
And if you get 20 inches of rain, you're going to have problems,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
but I
this
think
is
that Fort
historic.
Lauderdale's drying out.
This is historic. I looked it up last night, and 1979 we had 14 inches in Fort Lauderdale, and that was the max.
Was
Now
that
we
the
had
same year we had
20.
sleet and snow?
So you tell me that it's not
20.
every year, like 2-3 times or 4 times a year that happens this?
Maybe one.
I think it was a shocker.
Yeah.
Shocker.
But for what we got,
You
right?
know, guys, I heard this news, and I live in Pure Point. I have my home there, and then
Hero Point's
I-
high.
Yeah, and I didn't see it. To be sincere with you, it was my
You're up at the top. You're at the top of the county.
yeah.
That's pretty
good
cool.
spot.
So knowing that, and as experts in purchasing houses and going through the investors, is there anything that people have to think about when they're considering buying real estate here in Florida regarding, like everybody's scared to buy. Sometimes people come to from New York, from California, and say, oh my gosh, I'm going to a place that they have hurricanes. And I can tell you this, being an immigrant and being from Brazil, this is one of the first scary things that we listen and we try to figure out.
Oh, yeah.
What do you say about that?
Oh,
Is
it's
it so
easy.
scary?
Yeah.
I've got it somewhere. I got to tell you.
Let's go.
We got the answer to the test. My mother-in-law went through Sandy. The hurricanes went straight past Florida, right up
up
into
the
New York,
coast.
right in the middle of Manhattan, and right down the line of the Long Island Railroad. Okay.
Yeah.
And they got rocked. So basically what I'm saying is each state, each region they're susceptible. If you want to go to California, okay, let's go earthquakes. Let's go
Happening-
fires.
The floods happening in California.
Let's go.
right
Listen,
now.
how about getting wire? We're hearing now. I was just at a huge commercial symposium in Arizona where they're starting to truck potable water because the cities don't have water.
Yeah. That's,
We don't have those problems.
Thank gosh.
And we could always go desalination if that came up. You see what I'm saying? But if you're in the middle, like Midwest or kind of posing into Arizona or whatever, these people can't even have drinking water.
yeah, that's wild.
Huge, right? So I would say that, when you're dealing with hurricanes, you look at New Orleans, you look at, those states that have been hit so much. Look at the Carolinas. You know what? We had so many people, because, this is the problem with me being in the business for so long. We watched people back in Wilma, 2005, 2006, 2007. They raced to North Carolina. We're leaving South Florida. Guess what happened?
Boom.
They came back.
Yep.
How'd that work?
True.
but I get it. Every different space, every different state or city will have their challenges, right? But you probably have some homework to do if you're coming here, right? So eventually, one of the first things that Jay told me was, man, see if your home has the impact windows and doors, right?
yeah.
So
Yep.
this little stuff.
Missile related.
What is the role of a good realtor in terms of advising people in knowing a little bit the characteristic, how important it is to have a professional person that understands the area to advise someone that's investing or selling or whatever. What do you think?
Summer, should I chime in or you want to take it?
Oh, so this is the most important thing. Obviously, with you saying the 80-20, now it's more like a 90-10 with realtors is nobody wants to put in the work to really understand. We get this question all the time. People from New York, wherever. Oh my God, hurricanes. And you just have to explain, if you're knowledgeable, and knowledge is power, that, okay, yes, we have hurricanes, but they are much better than snowstorms in wherever, the Midwest or the Northeast or whatever. And we are so ready to combat them. Our power company, our electric company is incredible. We bounce back really fast. Our market's insane. It's just, there's so many ways and reasons to go about it, and you have to find somebody who's knowledgeable. I see that a lot in Florida, is not a lot of people can answer the questions.
Yeah, that's a great one. And I was totally going to nail on that one too. I got to tell you, when you go to your standard average agent, and Jay knows, I talk about average agent for the 10 years he was on Team JK. And we look at, you go to an agent and they're like, well, listen, tell me about the schools. Well, that's a broad question, right? Because there's a public issue on the central county part of the county of ratings. And, if you want to go A-rated across the board, that's really hard. And I don't think it's not going to happen in the city of Fort Lauderdale, right? Unless you go private. And then otherwise, your options are either Parkland or Weston, right? And a lot of agents don't know that. But then you get into like, okay, well, tell me about the parks. Do they know what's going on over at Holiday Park? Do they know what just happened over at Parker Playhouse? Do they know what's going on over with the whole rendition of the new pickleball courts over off of 84 that have been in a big scrap with the city? Do they even know where City Hall is? You know, the agents, you guys, you got to know where everything is. You got to know where to go to. You should have FP&L and every city waterworks in your phone. So when your customer needs or your seller is saying, hey, I've got problems with my water bill, or I have problems with my irrigation bill, I have problems with this, with that, you've got the answers. They're looking for you as a resource.
And that's amazing because one of the things that Jay does, he has a lot of people that supports him as a realtor, right? So he's got me. And he's got me as well. He got me as his painter. He got you as his mentor, right. You know, and he gets a lot of vendors and community members that support him as an advisor and an agent.
Think about the amount of time he vetted just to get a good painter.
Yeah.
Think about how many painters Jay had to go through to be able to say, hey, you know what? This is the only guy I'm going to give up to you. And it is a known fact. Hiring contractors in this county could be a very bad decision if you make the wrong financial move by paying ahead or by the agreement or however you play. You got to be really careful.
Yeah.
And we come back to being a good advisor, right? Because at the end of the
same
day,
goes with real estate. Yeah.
if someone is investing here, buying a house, if they don't know this, they can come and have a very bad experiences.
I think now with social media being so present, I think a lot of people are falling to the realtors that are very prominent on social media, and they're posting all of these things and they're doing this, which is great for business. But you need to fall back on the people who are sitting and learning the knowledge and learning everything about the area, because you have someone coming from New York and they're like, oh, well, what's the best place to live? What's with the best school district? And you have an agent who's newer and I'm newer, but all I do is study the market. That's like the number one thing. But I know the agents I want to work with and the agents I don't want to work with already, because you can see it right away. Yeah. Oh, she clearly doesn't know. So, you know, it's hard being a new agent. And
who wants to work with somebody who doesn't know? I mean, a realtor's supposed to know.
Yeah. That's your job.
And especially these days, you're 100% right with the social media. But think about how long the internet's been going on.
I know.
And everybody, it's already been said that, you know, most of the buyers working with buyers, they already know more typically than your typical agent. So how about us being a typical agent, step up and get more in tune with what our county has to offer.
That's why
what our county's doing.
It's amazing, guys. Let's go to right now a good news. And I would love you to talk about this one here.
Ooh.
I'm there. See what is going on here, guys?
Is this where Jay's at?
Jay's.
I think he's over there probably getting the VIP at Tortuga.
He's getting front row seat.
You know, guys, so coming to Florida, there's a lot of good stuff, and this is one of them. Who wants to talk about the Tortuga Festival? Do you want to mention
I've got VIP tickets for any of you that need a...
Oh, my gosh. That's why I bring you here today, right? To get your VIP tickets.
Wow.
I have general admission, but I will be there.
Well, and that's funny because, you know, with the VIP, if you've been there and you've had the general admission and you don't want to be in that mass crowd, the VIP is like a whole different game, right? Where you don't have to put up with all that.
It's so.
So, okay, guys, so if you're following us right now and looking to watching this beautiful show, we're going to have some news. So 14, 15, and 16 April, we have this beautiful festival. What do you think about this?
So
is it good stuff?
You know, what's so interesting is that when you see a city that kind of leverages the events like this as they make their moves, and the businesses, you know, like I know several restaurants in Pompano right now that are focused on Tortuga, and then once Tortuga is done, they're going to open. How crazy is that? That an event like Tortuga is so big that it makes the business owners just hold back to get that done and make it right, make it special for them to make a move on their business to reopen. It's crazy.
And that's something that's very interesting, because sometimes people, it comes from all this. They say, I would like to be in Miami, right? Because Miami have things, and Fort Lauderdale have been growing a lot in all the events and activities that we can do here, correct?
Yeah, I mean, we could use some culture. There's no doubt about it. I would be first with that. But, you know, listen, Parker Playhouse is done. Broward Performing Arts is right there.
Yep.
So if you want some of that culture, if you want the plays, if you want the concerts, my wife and I were just at Live. We had an amazing time at Live, and we even did the VIP at the Parker Playhouse for Live. Totally different experience.
Oh yeah, it's just so much is changing, and even since I've lived here for the past couple of years, so much has changed culturally, economically. We've seen so much growth, and with the a concert like this of this size, bringing this many people into the city, and the way I guess Fort Lauderdale handles it, absolutely is like amazing.
Yeah, I need to get some shades like this guy, Eric. Is that Eric?
This will look really good on
Wow,
you. Maybe a
stud.
jacket like that.
Yeah.
Too.
Whoa, is that Jay? Is that Jay
No,
with
no,
a
no, not
goatee
Jay.
or a beard?
No, I don't think the hair is like Jay's hair.
Yeah, we got to work on that. He probably needs a few more plugs.
That's cool, guys. So let's go a little bit for your background. Because right now we're talking about you. You are the featured guest today. Tell me a little bit what is your background. So from where you come from, how do you get into real
Here's
estate?
the thing about me. This is simple. Ground up. Nobody gave me anything. This is built from scratch, right? Was in Walmart, managing, had a huge, long history of managing. Probably I've hired and fired over 2,000 people when I was managing big box retail, and then got into appraising because, of course, retail sucked. And working for Walmart, who wants to work for that? That was horrible. But to be honest with you, you guys can enjoy the laughs of me working for it. It was the best experience I ever had. I use that experience on a daily basis in managing my group of friends and people and the people that work for me and my clients, just in the service factor of that, right? And then as far as appraising, having the foundation of real estate and not just coming in as your typical agent. You have no idea how many sellers over the years had said, hey, listen, this is the value. Well, time out. And you know how many times we've had banks say, hey, no, this is the value. And I had to, time out. Yeah. I object, and here's the objections. Here's the data. Here's the homework. And it's like detailed homework that I did back in the early 2000s as an appraiser to compete against the low appraisals or fighting against value on what these banks had said at that time, especially during the hard times when you were dealing with short sales and foreclosures and you had buyers that, you know what was going on then with the short sales and the foreclosures, the buyers, they wanted it. If it was 100, if let's say it was 300, and let's say it was shorting at 200, they still wanted it for 150, or they wanted it for 100. You had to navigate through that process. And I go back to that appraisal experience, and it was huge for me.
Do you think what helped you more, like your experience as a manager or your experience as an appraiser? Because the management experience will help you more.
That is the best question.
Yeah,
and I got to tell you, seriously, management.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, because you know business? Why? I will tell you straight up. This is what everybody has to remember. It's a people business. Mm-hmm. Anybody can figure out how to use a calculator. Anybody can figure out how to do the math and work through numbers and fight through the formulas and all that when it comes to running a good business. But if you're a business owner and you suck at people skills, you're in trouble.
Yeah. And if you're in real estate, you're in the wrong business.
Right.
Because you can.
And we see that on both. I see agents that they get frustrated, or they're desperate, or they just don't know how to navigate. And this business, here's what's even crazier is you see the lack of terminology. Mm-hmm. So we see where an agent went to school, got their real estate license, but then didn't develop their sales skill. Their game. And you know what they say about their sales skill? Oh, well, sales just seems like it's manipulating. No, it's being knowledgeable about how to decipher and help your customer navigate through the sales process.
And sales is not necessarily only a skill that you can learn, like a theoretical skill, right? Mm-hmm. You have to put yourself and have a mileage,
right?
Try and understand. I something that I tell my guys, and of course I do sales in different industry, but it's we have to put ourselves inside the mind of the clients to better serve them, to understand that and sell them exactly what they need, not what we want to them. It's a lot of time I come in and sell lower things.
Augusta, I got to tell you, and here's where the nugget is. Remember we talked about nugget?
Oh, yeah.
Right where Augusta said we have to be in the mind of that customer, right? Well, here's the mindset. It's knowing how to approach and deliver, right? So Augusta's saying, well, being in that mindset, and I can come in and say, well, Summer, you need to buy this house, right? That's not really the best approach, right? Yeah. And when you look at the best way, hey, Summer, listen, I did a substantial amount of homework, and I got to tell you, I want to share this with you and let you know that, hey, this is some of the homework that we went through. These are compared to the other properties. How do you feel about some of the homework that we did? I would recommend that maybe we look at a few more properties before we make a final decision. Instead of saying, Summer, this is your property.
Yeah,
this is the only one out there.
Absolutely.
And even though you and I we're in that mindset, or I'm in Augusta's mind, it's the way we deliver could easily get yourself out of a deal. And a lot of agents just don't know how to communicate in the sales process to navigate through. Don't be a part of the problem.
You think you develop a lot of this in your management experience being
Walmart? Yeah, listen, when I was managing, we were basically dealing with people who didn't want to do anything at work, much less do anything at home. So I needed to manage people who literally had no intentions of doing anything at work at Walmart, right? Yeah. So being able to actually get things done without me having to do everything, whether it was in the pet department or whether it was in the grocery area or it took a lot. Otherwise, I was throwing diapers on the shelves and you guys were buying them out.
But yeah, I think having a background like that in some sort of customer service or customer relations management is huge for real estate. And I think that's where a lot of people miss the mark. Because when you're working with clients, you have to get inside their mind, but you also have to have that emotional factor of okay, I know how to position this situation. I know how to position this conversation to where I'm understanding you and you're understanding me.
Yeah, and I just chimed in a word that I'll never forget that made sense to me in management and what we're missing today's world, whether it's in real estate or anything. And it starts with an A. It's accountability. And being able to manage somebody within accountability parameters without pissing them off or agitating them or having them say, well, I'm going to quit, which means that accountability is listen, I'm going to hold you accountable for what you're here to do, which is what we're paying you to do. Exactly. And that's really, really hard these days. I can't imagine, especially with the way this environment's turned, with the work ethic, it hasn't gotten any better.
No, I had the conversation today. With so many options and opportunities and careers online, everyone's working online. Everyone wants to make a quick buck. Nobody wants to put the work in.
No.
And you can see it. You really can see it.
Yeah, they're just ripping the employers off, taking their training, but we're seeing it. It's scary because, this is, as we continue as people, as we get older, we're really actually going to depend on people, especially in the hospital environment, in that industry, what the healthcare scene is going to be like. That's going to be very interesting on how that's going to work. You know?
How can you work in healthcare and make a certain salary when you can work at home for a tech company or something and make it's.
And then here comes the accountability in healthcare. Well, did you take care of Mr. Keith that's laying in bed that needs surgery? Well, I was just looking for another opportunity because I already got a bonus here and.
Exactly.
I'm going to pass, but thanks. I think he'll be fine.
Yeah.
I had that issue with my dad.
I think he'll be fine.
Okay, guys, sorry to interrupt you. Right now,
this
sponsorship. We are here, guys. It's sponsored
Who's
by the Captain Painter,
Oh, yeah, the El Capitan.
So if you're looking for a painting job, you can go to thecaptainpainter.com and call for help. Right now with the flood, we're going to need a lot of painting jobs going on. So you go to thecaptainpainter.com and ask for help with the heroes, the captains.
I love it. I love the best painter in town.
Okay, guys. So right now, pretty cool. I would like to tell, because you share a little bit about the management and, knowing a little bit about the houses itself, how to appraise them, how to put value on them is extremely important. But there is other little things that you do. One is like helping the community, being completely involved into the community. And I would like to share you a little bit because you are part of Rotary Club. You get the humanitarian award from the Real Estate Association, the Realtor Association, right? Tell me a little bit more about this and how, thinking about others help you in your business and make you grow.
Yeah, I think it's by, life is by perception, right? And, as realtors, if you look at like the code of ethic in realtors, a realtor really is at the top of the pyramid when it comes to feeding the community and business, right? And I remember being at BNI back in the day, in the early like 2010, 2011, and really like focusing on the business side, but I was missing the charitable side of what our community offered. I mean, I've been involved in, the Covenant House and the Humane Society way back 2003, 2004. But as I started to continue down the road of being much more serious about real estate and what impact I could actually make internally outside of just the business side, but as a person, as a citizen, what is my duty? How can I share, my skill sets to, people that could use the help outside of just real estate in the industry, and I think that, Rotary was always a great outlet for me. I love Rotary to death. I'm on the board for Henderson Behavioral Health, and I do everything I can to help them. I spend a lot of time with my daughter's school over at the in the PTA, which is huge because that puts me right next to her. So, life has evolved more where I'm spending a lot more time near, my daughter and her friends and our school to make sure that this public school runs the way we want it to run, or otherwise it would just go awry.
Yeah, and I think that's huge. Another back to, $1 billion in sales. Yeah. What led to this? It sets you apart from other realtors when you actually care about your community and you're in your community every day and you're doing this and you're seeing this and you're helping with this. It's like completely sets you apart from other realtors because you just know what's going on and you want to be involved.
Yeah, when you care, you become knowledgeable.
Exactly.
Right?
If you have
share.
to
you care, you share.
Yeah.
A lot of realtors and you, and if you have to recommend something for them that, eventually they don't have the same power that you have right now. They start up, they don't have too much time or too much money. What would be your recommendation to them to start, getting traction,
right,
still helping?
I'm a firm believer in doing what you love, right? And, you really want to dig deep. Because when you start to embrace the things that you're doing and you're not into them, it's going to show. And if you're not into real estate, just save yourself the time and energy and exit and try to find something else, right? Yeah. If you're not serious, it's all about commitment, right? Commit to something and do and make an impact on it. If you like hanging with kids and helping that organization, there's, a ton of different children's organizations out there, LifeNet, you've got there's so many out there that I can't even begin to list.
But you can tell that doing this helped you to grow your business enough.
Well, yeah. I mean, ultimately, listen, you want to make the connections. Okay. And we know agents that have said, okay, I stole the ingredients for Jonathan or JK, and now I'm going to go into a charity and let's see how that works. That's not what it takes. This is really simple, guys. It's called ROI. And I know in your real estate, it's return on investment, but that's not in Jonathan's world. It's actually return on involvement. And if you're involving yourself, and I remember going into I remember going to Rotary initially and feeling like, wow, maybe this isn't for me. Well, yeah, it wasn't for me because I wasn't getting involved. Yeah. And the minute I started getting involved, it started creating the relationships around me. And then we evolved. And then I got involved in other charities, Leukemia Lymphoma Society. Jay even ran in, we nominated Jay to run as Man of the Year for Leukemia Lymphoma Society. He raised a lot of money. And then there was so many other things that he's made an impact on. I've done a lot of toy drives. I love kids, so we wanted to make sure that in our county for 13, 14 years in a row now, kids didn't go without toys that were in need.
And that's I love this because you know what? We have two examples, different examples of involvement in connections. So you use a little bit of passion for fishing and spearfishing, and you get the connections to power your business, right? And you use your passion with kids and helping kids, and you power your business through this. So I think it's a very interesting element in
it
the
has
success.
to come from a genuine place. If you're
And that's the point, yeah.
exactly, I think that's like the key is like whatever you love, just pull from that and just grow from that.
Yeah, and then you become unique, right? Because at the end of the day, you are the realtor that does this.
Right.
you
Well,
know?
there's a historical fact with Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale likes to give back, right? And, I know year over year over year, when I realized that was Fort Lauderdale's ultimate nature, anything we did was charity oriented. Hey, we're all going to get together, but bring a toy for this, or plan on donating for this to get entry into here. Or we would do, whether it was like a happy hour, hey, you'll get a free drink, but you have to donate to that. I remember, what's so funny? 2004, we were right at the Parrot for the tsunami efforts. 2004, that was probably one of my biggest raises. I think we raised like $17,000. And 2004, nobody was raising money for what happened when the tsunami hit over there and overseas.
Wow.
That was huge. And we shut the Parrot down. We shut the streets down right in front of Parrot. And I mean, we're talking 20 years ago.
That's crazy.
20 years ago we did that, right? And then you think about all the things that happened after. You think about all the relationships that happened that night when we brought everybody together. It was a massive turnout.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Are you ready, guys?
All right, let's do it.
Are you ready for the battle of the houses?
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
Who wants to go first? Guys, this is a new segment for our show. It's going to be very fun.
What's better? Who's going?
Should we do rock, paper, scissors?
Yep.
Yeah, rock,
All right,
paper, scissors.
1, 2, 3.
You
She
decide.
got
You
you're
want to go
up.
first?
I'll go first.
Okay,
Yeah.
go for it.
Oh no, I should have gone. I'll go first.
So basically, guys, here's the rules, right? So we're going to do this. She will be trying to sell her listing, and you're going to also doing to try your listing.
All right.
You're going to see who do the best.
Right. Okay, let's
And
go.
Let's go.
Summer.
It's on.
Let's see.
Summertime. It's summertime.
Just open here. Boom, boom.
All right, let's see this gorgeous little pad.
Let's go. This place is gorgeous.
1 second. Let me just stop this one here. Let me pull a little bit to be a little bit
I love that building.
centralized.
I live right around the corner from there.
Oh,
Loved
so
it.
you know this. This is.
I mean, come on.
It's amazing.
Seriously.
This is. You can't beat it.
Showtime over there.
Okay,
somewhere.
let me
All right.
just put a little bit more.
The balconies. Come on, look at the balcony.
Double balconies.
We didn't even have to get started.
I
on the
know.
video.
I'm like.
Just look at
I'm
the
like. Can I
profile
start
of the
now?
building.
Because you guys can
Seriously.
already see it's the most incredible.
Okay, so
Property.
that's great. Then put a little bit of the music.
Dun, dun, dun.
1 second. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, this building itself, we don't even know the location yet. Okay, Bayshore Drive, Central Beach, Fort Lauderdale, overlooking the Intercoastal, a couple blocks from the beach. Double balconies, giant balconies, 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath, over 2,200 square feet, completely redone from head to toe, from the kitchens to the bathrooms to the floors to the walls. Everything has been redone.
I'll
It's
stop a little
beautiful.
bit here. Sell me a little bit more about the interior of this home.
Okay, so what I love about this building is that you're a couple blocks from the beach, but you're not looking at the beach. Sometimes the beach view is not for everyone. Beautiful during the day, but black at night. This, you have a couple blocks from the beach, but looking out, you're right in the Intercoastal. You get to watch the beautiful boats go by. No fixed bridges here. Perfect location, walking distance to everything on Fort Lauderdale Beach. Tocato's right there. Alvez is right there.
Gee.
Luna's right there.
Oh my God, I'm
it's
getting hungry.
amazing. Gourmet kitchen, it's beautiful. Completely,
kitchen.
yeah, completely
Pretty
redone
cool.
head to toe.
I love this.
It's, yeah. they
Very
did an
modern, right?
Yeah, very
Square
modern.
edges. Pretty cool.
Whoa.
Wanted to do the all white thing, but they switched up, put a little bit of
Wow.
color in the kitchen, which I love.
View.
Look at that
What is
view.
view?
Fireplace.
Oh man.
If you want to get a little cozy at night.
Getting that marshmallows
raining.
out.
Bedrooms are very spacious. Closets are massive. Beautiful
Look at
sink.
the tub.
Yeah, beautiful sinking
Is that a
tub.
double tub?
I was in that tub. We could maybe could too.
See
Look
this
at
view.
these views. I mean, okay, you don't have obstruction on the side because it's a lower building.
Oh.
So, it really is just, you live in the area, it's amazing.
It is
walkable
gorgeous.
to everything.
Lifestyle.
It's
How about our
lifestyle.
golf cart lifestyle? Oh.
Park your 2 spots would come with the unit. 2
Wow.
parking
The
spots.
fountains out front. Come on.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Very, very well upkept.
I'm just right there. I'm on the other side.
Look at
There's
that.
My neighbor. There's my neighbor on the other side.
Wave to you.
Hey, hey, babe.
So yes, we are listing this at 1.75. Great price for the building. Beautiful square footage. Look at this view. You just can't beat it. You just can't beat it.
I love it.
Okay.
She's got it.
Uh-oh.
That's a tough one to beat, Summer.
That is a tough one.
That's a tough one to beat.
I don't know. I think I had a little glimpse of yours, and it's
Oh,
up there.
I
That's
had to
cool.
bring a bruiser in.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's a great location.
You
right?
guys are going to have to bring in your checkbook, though.
like,
This one's going to be expensive.
Yeah,
Well-
mine is like affordable.
Oh, yeah.
This is like
seriously.
amazing. Amazingly priced.
What's so interesting, though, is that if they were over there at 615 Bayshore and they could get on a boat there, they could bring it right into their private dock on where I'm taking them.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay, maybe this
Ruh-roh.
is their guest house. This is their guest place.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, we can.
And we know this happens here in Fort Lauderdale where they have like the single fam.
Yes.
And then they have like their little beach condo. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they want to get away. Okay.
That's
We're
great.
selling, we're selling both.
Of course, the
We
location.
can't help ourselves. We're just attacked. It's so beautiful.
And it's not all. How many bedrooms there?
2.
2 bedrooms.
2 bedrooms,
Guys,
2.5 bath.
in Fort Lauderdale, there's some houses that's more than 2 bedrooms for 1.7.
Wow.
But this beautiful view and this beautiful location is what you're paying for too, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah.
And the square footage.
Yeah.
What is the right client? What is the right person for this?
This is to me a downsizer home.
Okay.
Right.
This is your kids just
Yeah.
went to college.
Yep.
They're
Yep, yep,
moving
yep.
from the suburbs
Empty
into
nester.
the city. Empty nesters.
Parkland,
Everything's
Weston.
Done. Absolutely.
They're,
Everything's
they're
done
tired
for
of
you.
being out west with the Everglades, with
They're
the
like, we
Gators.
don't want to look at grass anymore. Let me stare
Right.
at this beautiful intercoastal view. This
Yep. They're tired of the Gators and they want to go swim in the sand.
Exactly.
Andre, did you like it? Good presentation? Okay, it was approved by
All right.
Andre. That's
Oh,
great.
God. Can't believe it. She got like a major thumbs up there. Oh, that means I got to step my game
yeah,
up.
you
Okay,
better.
that's-
Now I'm getting nervous. Ruh-roh.
Rah-rah.
I think this
Let's see what
one-
you got. I'm ready. I'm ready.
You ready?
Ah, God, I mean, I got to tell you, when you look at
This
1425 Ponce de Leon, I mean, just the name of the street should take you back to history here in Fort Lauderdale. I'm going to tell you that right now.
I already know this listing.
Oh, it's not yours
All
as
right,
well.
let's go. All righty, hang on.
This is Sunrise Intracoastal. No, it's not yours, right?
Nope.
It
That is
was
my neighborhood.
Jay's, yeah,
that is my neighborhood.
Yeah, you know.
Thanks for
Jay-
taking a listing in my neighborhood, Jay.
Yeah, come on.
There you have it,
Jay.
buddy.
No, Jay didn't come, so not Jay's today.
Sorry, Jay, you're not in it today.
Yeah,
Beautiful
just
property,
okay.
though.
They probably
Beautiful
didn't figure
property,
out. They didn't realize I moved in. I got to make sure I market that neighborhood.
Yeah,
a little.
exactly.
Okay, I got this one here.
Door knock your neighbors.
Right.
I found it. 1 second, guys. Just move it here.
Yeah. So with golf carting, I mean, you could have totally taken your golf cart straight over to
Oh, yeah.
my new listing.
This one here, right?
Yep.
You
Okay.
gotta hop on.
Boom.
Yep.
Wow.
Let's see. Let's see what is your game right now, Jake.
All right. We are
Okay.
ready.
Just
I'm
put
excited
this
for
one
this.
here.
You on point there?
Are you in the point?
Let's go.
To get inside the customer's mind?
Let's do it.
It's time.
Guys, you're in Rio Vista. This is 1425 Ponce de Leon. Let me explain to you on how this all plays out. By the way, this house has 50 feet of water, so you can go ahead and bring your boat right in, straight out of Summers Bayshore property.
Yep.
And look at this two-story in the middle of Rio Vista, which is the coolest neighborhood
I
in
second
the
that.
city of Fort Lauderdale. You can see the aluminum gates, artistic. We've got the
Golf cart.
metal roof. Yep, golf carts right there waiting on you. Come on, look at the design. That kitchen is ready
That
for a
is
chef.
stunning.
Oh yeah, we are
wow.
cooking over here on gas all day long. You know, everybody wants gas.
That you got me there.
Seriously. So then you can see how it steps down into the large family room with a.
Oh, my
and
God.
then we've got the huge dining area. I'm telling you right now, the designs, the different features. You have the boating in the background on the canal, tied straight into the New River. As we run upstairs, you're looking at designer features. the detail. Look at the glass
Crazy
partitions
detail
just for
in the
the
front.
for the
Beautiful.
upstairs. Yep. Wood
Wow,
floors.
look at
Wow.
Come on.
Wow.
Who's got sinks like that?
Yeah, that is
Pinkish
amazing.
The
chair,
detail.
too. All right.
Nothing but the detail. I think you painted this house, didn't you? Did you paint
Probably,
this house?
yes.
This is
Yeah.
pretty, I mean, the
Oh, this is
edges on
beautiful.
point. Look at the master bath.
the tile.
Unbelievable.
The tiling's
You know,
incredible.
walk-in shower. Look at that subway tile.
Good details
Wow.
of the
All
tile.
right. Oh yeah, you got the
Oh,
chevron.
look at the
Oh
the
my
view
God.
and the master. This is what you get when you're in Rio.
Wow.
On the water. This is going to cost you 4.3, guys. But let me tell you,
Worth
it's
it.
gorgeous. This is a subsection internally in the backyard. Double grills, by the way, double grill section.
We can do the Brazilian
that.
barbecue there.
Exactly, pork out
Oh,
all day.
I love that.
Come on, look how gorgeous it is. Put you
Picanha,
right on the
picanha.
top. This is where
That's
you when
stunning.
you think Fort Lauderdale, this is where Fort Lauderdale's pictures are being taken and sent all over the world.
Look at
This
this.
is what brings people to Fort Lauderdale, these kind of
That's
views.
gorgeous.
And then you're right there at 1425 Ponce de Leon. This house will cost you 4.3, but it's worth it
Worth
because you've got
every
the
penny.
dockage. And here's the thing, I got to tell you guys, I was just up in Palm Beach in a massive where all the players live. And when you have the tree-lined streets like Ponce de Leon has, that's where the true money is spent, because when you come home, it is spectacular. And you feel like you're in
Yeah.
the neighborhood of neighborhoods. Lauderdale Yacht Club's right down the street. All the shopping's right around the corner on 17th Street. If you want to get into your bigger yacht, you're more than welcome to right down
Right
there off
there.
of 17th.
You
And
blow
you've
your
got all-
time into it.
Oh,
Hey,
oh,
what?
oh,
I'll rip through this. I'll sell it, girl.
Yeah.
André,
Talk about
André.
us all day.
Now
All
it's
right, we'll
time
do
for you
that.
to judge.
All right, where are you at?
Tell me.
Oh, that's hard.
Let's see what goes summer.
I'm in the hot
Come
seat.
here, my co-host. Yes.
I don't blame him. I would have picked summer too.
You kind of sold mine too.
I think if Jay would have been here, though, I would have won.
Oh yeah. You would have.
Just a funny feeling.
It was not fair for you, Vic. I'm sorry about that. But, you know.
Blondes always win.
But I will say, side note, if you're not from here, Rio Vista,
Whoa.
move there.
Seriously.
Move there.
Come on. It's tough, guys. Inventory's weak.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's incredible.
It's beautiful. And in terms of the school district, what it is?
Yeah. So you got A-rated, so you got Harbordale over there, and then you'll probably want to consider where you're going from there on out. You know, private.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
So what do you like? Did you like the segment?
I thought it was fantastic.
that.
Great times.
Fun little competition.
Seriously.
Love it.
That's cool. Let's go to the next segment right now.
Okay.
I don't know if you're ready for this, but
do
you
this.
you promised me that you're gonna do a little training today. Do you remember that?
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh,
God, and Jay
training
wanted me
by
not- Jay
training
wanted me
by
not to wing it.
JK, and I will remember you.
I got it.
What is the title of
Got
the training? The
it.
training.
got it. What did I
Dial for dollars training.
Oh,
Do you remember? So guys,
I can use this. This
right
is
now
good.
JK is gonna give us tips and tricks, and he gave us like a 5 to 10 minutes training about how to use correctly your phone if you want to make
Ooh.
if you want to make
And guys,
a lot
as I sit
of
here, I
dollars.
can promise you this. I'm not wondering what that's going to... Oh, I like that.
I know,
Yep, I like that. Look at that little money. Yep. That is the cash.
Didn't stop.
So, guys, here's the first things first.
Okay.
Contact to contract. And if you're not contacting, you can't expect to get into contracting. So I think that's the first thing, because we see a lot of realtors over the years that just feel like, hey, I'm going to just hang out here and wait for somebody to call me. And that's a bad idea. And when you look at winners in the game, they don't wait for the ball to come to them. They go after the ball.
Absolutely.
And there's certain analogies that will put you in check to make you, a caller, understand that this is what you should be doing. And ultimately, as an agent, if you're not focused on setting appointments, that means that you're not working on money-making opportunities, because appointments is what you should have every day. So if you're not making the calls to set appointments, whether it's through your Spear or whether it's through your database or whether it's through your wherever you're getting your business from, whether it's out there in the market, out in the field, then you really need to question what your schedule and your time is being spent on, because it doesn't seem like it would be making money, right? And you need a lot. And there comes an accountability. We go back to the word accountability, and allotting time to focus on what is your bracket. And when you say calling, you know that you probably lost 90% of the agents because guess what they said as soon as they heard it? Oh, I don't want to call. Well, if that's the case, as an agent out there, you guys want to be looking to see what all the other agents don't want to do, right?
And
And if they don't want to do
absolutely.
it, then you should be doing it, right? And then
when you have your mentees, the people that you are training, your students in the real estate, like
Right.
Jay was one time. How do you help them to get through this, and what you teach
It's
them
so
exactly?
funny. It's funny you ask. I actually have I've got a meeting on Monday, and at 3:00, I invited my entire team to come into the office, and I'll make the calls for them. I'll give the leads to them, and then they can figure out from there as I set appointments for them. So it's by leading. You've got to lead by example. And if you're not leading by example, because obviously, the agents are going to struggle making the calls on their own because, of course, they're going to come up with all the regular standard average agent excuses. And to fix that, I realized that, hey, let me come in and show them how it works. And the first thing I want to know when I'm calling is, have you found anything? Or what would be the ultimate goal for that family, for your family? Would it be you guys need the 4th bedroom, or you guys need the pool and you don't want to spend the money? And if you need a pool, let me a resource. Let me help you with that first. Maybe not moving is a good idea, and you just need a pool and a good pool contractor. We just don't know. Maybe you want to get out of a flood zone, right? We can't help that. Every city has a flood zone, or most cities do in the nation. So you don't know what a buyer or a seller's needs are, but listening and paying attention is what's huge, especially when you're on the call.
You also mentioned sequencing a little bit the calls, right? You tell me like birthday first, anniversary second.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more, like what is the right approach and how do you find people because you need to find them as well. You need to find people to call, and then when you find, you need to know how to correctly apply the calls, have the right script. How do you do all this? How do you wrap all
We see a lot of agents don't want to meet people. And unfortunately, I'm sorry, guys, it's sales. You're in the business. And if you don't want to connect, you should find a different business. Maybe go
Don't be
work
a secret agent.
Yeah, maybe it's time to get out of 1099 and go to W-2 so you could just wait around to find out if you still have a job. Job.
Oh yeah.
Right?
And it is intimidating being a new real estate agent. You get in the business, you see everyone making these great sales, and you might have, like I said last time, a couple first great sales, but then you sit there and you're like, oh wow, I do have to do what everyone's talking about, the things I don't want to do.
I know.
But then you do it and you get this momentum and you call people, you call an expired and you're like, I'm sorry, you probably had 10 realtors to call you.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I haven't had a single one. And you're like, what, is nobody else doing their job? Like,
Right.
And that's great for us.
And mix it up. Summer's, 100% right. If you get 10 rejections and you get one appointment, God, how do you get 10 more rejections to get that next appointment?
Right?
That's great.
Let's get at it.
Yeah, it's when you do a reverse engineering to understand a little bit your numbers, you can say every call I'm making X amount of money.
Yeah.
If you know your numbers, you understand? Because you make an average and you see your numbers, you can say, I'm making $1,000 now. I'm making, even if you don't close, because when you put in the big numbers, you get into this, right?
What we see too is agents want to act like agents. And that's just a recipe for disaster because nobody wants to people want organic relationships that are real, right? And I can't tell you how many amazing friendships I've had with an ultimate internal mindset that, hey, I don't care whether they buy or sell. It doesn't matter to me. I think they're amazing people. And whatever I could do to help them be successful is what it is. And if they chose a different agent because they felt more comfortable with that person than me, have at it.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I knew where my heart was. I knew that wholeheartedly my intent was to have a good friendship and to enjoy that friendship. And whatever that decision was with whatever that friend at that time and whatever property they were selling was what it was.
And that is just such a genuine relationship, and it's such a genuine way
being
to do
authentic.
business. Exactly. And I think that's where a lot of realtors kind of miss. Like I never say, oh, I don't want to come off salesy, because I could never be salesy, because I am so genuine in this business, and we want to help our clients. But the second I hear an agent say like, oh, I don't want to come off salesy, and I'm like, well,
but
you're not having the right conversations then.
Yeah.
You're not in this for the right reason, because it just comes off salesy if you're acting like it's going to come off salesy.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that way.
No.
I just like to look out for my friends that are in the business, and we have that. We have, buyers and sellers going, listen, I'm not going to work with a friend. We're not going to hire a friend. Well, God, good luck with who's looking out for you.
Exactly.
And hopefully that'll work out for you, because unfortunately we've run into situations where, that individual said, hey, listen, we didn't want to hire a friend in the business, and we got our tail bit, and
going through it right now.
we learned our lesson, and now it's your turn, Jonathan. And, I think that, that's a known fact, and especially in my history in the business, is I'm not always first, but I'm always last.
And you always get the job. You always get the job done.
And if that makes any sense to you, that means that I'm the one always closing it out.
Yep.
And that's a great tip. Guys, tell me, what next? Do you like the show? Because we are in the last moments of the show. Do you have anything else that you want to add, Jonathan?
Yeah, I would say focus on consistency, guys. It's this business, and you're going to see it's going to be a rocky road ahead. You're going to see a lot of tumultuousness. There's a lot of things going on with the way things are playing out with inflation and with interest rates. And the interest rates more than ever decided what the market was going to be like, just based upon our last shift between June and December. And then once the rates came down in January, boom, all of a sudden we unloaded all of our inventory.
Yep.
So it's going to be listing time, guys.
Yep.
Showtime.
That's great. Summer, anything else?
Yeah, I mean, this has just been such a pleasure talking to you. Your experience is exceptional. I mean, I can't even it's amazing. And just learning from you and listening to you and just realizing how genuine you are in the business is incredible. Being a new agent.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, being a new agent, we really don't see this a lot. And it's really nice, really refreshing. And I've learned so much even in this past.
No, I appreciate you having us, I guess. This is great.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Summer's going to crush it.
That's great, guys. So we just finalized. This is the end. But you're going to see us next week in the next episode 6. And again, we're going to keep the battle of the listings. I think you like it, right? If you like it, send a thumbs up. Okay? Thumbs up for us. And let's do it. Come back here and stay tuned for the real estate world.
Jay, you better be here next time.
For sure. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Summer, very much. It was amazing to have you here.
Thanks,
You
guys.
made the show.
Guys.
What an honor.
It's an amazing show. Thank you
I
very
love
much.
it.